Hello guys and welcome. So in this video I wanted to explain what is Resident Evil 3 Remake. This video is aimed at people who know nothing about Resident Evil 3 or Resident Evil 3 Remake but are curious. Maybe you've heard of the announcement and so on. Now, Resident Evil 3 Remake is a remake of the 1999 game Resident Evil 3 Nemesis. Now let me quickly show you the trailer. So the game is developed by Capcom. The events of Resident Evil 3 actually go side by side with Resident Evil 2. So it's based one day before Resident Evil 2 and also 2 days after of different events of Resident Evil 3. And that's why they're showing, for example, there's a lot of footage of Resident Evil 2 right here. Is because of how it's linked together. Now, it's based around a different character. So in Resident Evil 2, you had Leon and you had Claire Redfield. But in Resident Evil 3, you have a different character called Jill Valentine. She's a member of STARS, which is a specialist group which is designed to fight this infection. And you can see that she's running. The whole game, she is going to be running from Nemesis. So Nemesis has been sent after the STARS members to eliminate them ASAP. That's why all the time he utters the word STARS. You know, that's his only assignment, is to eliminate them ASAP. Just like Mr. X, he's non-stop. He basically just wants to eliminate the STARS members as soon as he can for whatever reason. We'll delve more into the Resident Evil saga as we play through these games. Now, of course, this storyline has existed for like 20 years. Like, Resident Evil 3 came out more than 20 years ago. But the reason why they're working through them is because over the last 20 years, Resident Evil is still going. And some people did miss out on the original games because it came out on PlayStation, the old consoles. So, and because people are still interested, and Capcom was obviously still interested, they are obviously feeling a need to remake these games. So let's hope they keep remaking them. So basically, throughout this game, throughout Resident Evil 3, we are going to be running from Nemesis. That's what we're going to be doing. And because it's realized in, HD graphics and big world, and we've already seen the success of Resident Evil 2, then hopefully we'll be in for a really great experience. Now, of course, you can't ever have like a perfect redevelopment of like a PlayStation 1 game, as simple as that. Like, these games came out in the 90s, but there are lots of videos out there. I'm going to link some in the description which detail the entire story of Resident Evil 3 if you're interested. Now, the story of Resident Evil is based around the Umbrella Corporation. They were experimenting with biological weapons, and one of the weapons that they created was a virus, and that virus turns people into zombies. Simple as that. So what I'm now going to do in the background, I'm going to have they released this pretty much shortly after the announcement. So this is the developers were talking about the game. Now, basically with Resident Evil 3, like we can see it's coming out early next year, around the time when Cyberpunk is coming out. So we're in for a hell of a time early next year, because we have Final Fantasy VII Remake, Cyberpunk, Resident Evil 3, and also what's it called? Ghost of Tsushima next year, and Last of Us Part 2. So we've already got massive games being announced. Now, one thing that they've said, they've already spoken about Resident Evil 3 Resistance. Resident Evil 3 Resistance is actually, or they didn't say free, they just said Resistance, is actually the multiplayer game of Resident Evil 3. But they did not reveal that it was a multiplayer game of Resident Evil 3 until recently, basically. So that's the thing. So it was a surprise. It was kind of like, oh, really? So, and it's nice that they are working on it. I am very much looking forward to it. I really, really, really enjoyed Resident Evil 2 Remake. It was really well done. Pretty much the best remake I've ever played. And I am very curious about the story of the game, and we'll see how it develops and so on. Because I'll be honest, back in the day when it came to like PlayStation 1 games and so on, unless it was like Final Fantasy, I didn't really pay attention much to game stories. But there is a big thriving world and a very big narrative in these games that is worth looking into. It's very entertaining. If you care about it, then great. So, and obviously, if you're watching this video, then you have some care about Resident Evil, let's be honest. So, like I said, the entire game, we're going to be playing as Jill Valentine. Who knows if they will add other character. There was one other character in the Resident Evil 3 of the original game for a short time, but we'll see if they actually add that into this game. And Jill Valentine was actually in Resident Evil 1. So, she was another protagonist in Resident Evil 1, and this game and Resident Evil 2 and 3 are based 2 months after the events of Resident Evil 1. Now, the thing with the Resident Evil 3 originally, when it originally was being designed and developed, it was actually supposed to be just some low-budget like spin-off for Resident Evil 2. But I guess they got... I don't want to say carried away, but they really got into it, so they ended up making it Resident Evil 3, and then what was originally called Resident Evil 3 then became Resident Evil 4. So now, unlike Mr. X, there is going to be a few times when we do actually stun, and it almost feels like we defeat Nemesis, but he's not really defeated, let's be honest. He's going to pursue us endlessly for the whole game. So, like, be ready for that. It's going to be constant mayhem. It's like you're probably going to be playing the game, and the whole time you're going to be like, one, you're going to be stressed because you're always running away from the Nemesis, and two, simply you might just feel sorry for Jill. You know what I mean? Like she's in for a rough time, but you as a player are in for a rough time as well. So yeah, now I am very, very interested in this game. I will be playing Resistance as well. So shout out to Capcom for doing an absolutely fantastic job on these remakes so far. The RE engine looks absolutely insane. Like the games they've released so far with the new RE engine are Resident Evil 2 Remake and Devil May Cry 5, and they both look absolutely fantastic. So yeah, so now the thing is, like, obviously, while these games are being remade, so we have 2 being remade and 3 being remade, who knows if we'll have 4 be remade and so on. It buys Capcom time to really develop Resident Evil 8, if there's ever going to be one. They don't have to remake Resident Evil 7, because Resident Evil 7 is already modern. It's already got amazing graphics, it's got VR mode and blah, blah, blah. But every game before then, they probably could remake, especially if they are trying to push this narrative. So as you can see, there is a collector's edition. It's up to you if you're interested in these sort of things to see if it's still available on sale in your area. It's probably sold out at this point, but you could always check, you could always look. Just beware when you're pre-ordering collector's editions that you don't try and buy it from either someone who's fleecing, who is trying to get for a high price, or just like don't get conned. Basically, try and get it from a reputable seller. And like that's it. That's all I can say to you about Resident Evil 3. So tell me, guys, are you into Resident Evil? Do you like it? Have you looked into the lore of the game? Like, have you really delved deeper into the different characters, how the story ties in with Resident Evil 2 and the original Resident Evil? So what's nice about the Resident Evil games, it's all, again, based around the same world and the same everything. So I'm not going to spoil the ending of Resident Evil 3, but we are in for a fun time, let's say. I wonder how they're going to realize it in the remake. So yeah, so as I said, you can see Resident Evil Resistance is going to be the online multiplayer mode of Resident Evil 3. You can see here, if you pre-order the game, you'll get a classic outfit set and so on. So yeah, so anyway, guys, that's it for this video. As you can see, like a Death Stranding video appeared in my autoplay. I'm always researching games and so on. Guys, if you're liking these videos, these what is videos, like if you think they're cool or whatever, you have any other games you would like me to check out as part of this series, please let me know in the comments down below. I am having a lot of fun making these videos, not because of just the amount of research and background I'm like looking into each game. I am trying to educate myself before I make these videos. So please, like I said, guys, if you like these videos, then be sure to recommend some more for me. Let's keep this season going. So anyway, guys, that's it for this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up. You can watch a random video over there. You can watch the latest upload down there, or you can click down here to subscribe. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.